Deputy Colonel Matthew Hofer will relinquish command to Colonel Thomas Summers. At this time, we would like to welcome family members of the official party and distinguished guests joining us today at this ceremony. Colonel Hofer's wife, Bobby, son Sam, and daughter Lola. Colonel Summers' wife, Anna Marie, and daughters Riley, Shayna, and Vanessa, along with the extended family joining us today. In attendance are the following distinguished guests. Joining us today from the APCO Command Team are Major General Claire A. Gill, Commanding General, U.S. Army Aviation Center of Excellence in Fort Parker; Mr. and Mrs. Robert C. Gore, Deputy Commanding General; Brigadier General and Mrs. Kenneth C. Cole, Deputy Commanding General; Ms. Sue Casero, spouse of CW5 Michael Casero, Chief Warrant Officer of the Aviation Branch; Ms. T. Coley, spouse of Command Sergeant Major Kurt Coley, Command Sergeant Major of the Aviation Branch. Joining us today from the MRDC Command Team are Major General Paula C. Logie, Commanding General, U.S. Army Medical Research and Development Command; Dr. Carrie M. Clement, Deputy to the Commanding General; Sergeant Major Michael Gills, Command Sergeant Major, U.S. Army Medical Research and Development Command. Other distinguished guests in attendance include Dr. Butler, Deputy Commissioner for Operations and Chief Operating Officer, U.S. Food and Drug Administration; the Honorable William Cooper, Mayor of the City of Enterprise; Major General Michael McCurry, Chief of Staff of Futures Command. At this time, please direct your attention to the front row of the audience as we welcome the families of the outgoing and incoming commanders. On behalf of the soldiers of USAARL, Sergeant Oldham, USAARL NCO of the Year, will now present a bouquet of red roses to Colonel Hofer's wife, Miss Polly Hofer. Red is the color of the heart and reflects the loving concern that she has shown the soldiers, civilians, and their families. Our roses are in full bloom, symbolizing the beauty and fulfillment of her time with us at USAARL. Ms. Hofer, thank you for your service to our organization. You will be remembered and missed. Sergeant Oldham will also present a small gift to each of Colonel Hofer's children as an expression of gratitude for the care and devotion they have shown USAARL. To the Hofer family, thank you for being here today on this occasion, and for your love and support to USAARL and the Fort Worker community over these last 2 years. On behalf of the soldiers of USAARL, Specialist Melvin, USAARL Soldier of the Quarter, will now present a bouquet of yellow roses to Colonel Summers' wife, Miss Anne Marie Summers. Yellow roses represent a new beginning in time. These rosebuds will blossom after the Summers family's relationship with the soldiers, civilians, and families of USAARL. Specialist Melvin will also present a small gift to Colonel Summers' children, welcoming them to the unit. To the Summers family, thank you for being here today, and welcome to Fort Worker. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing for the arrival of the official party. We're doing honors to Major General Logie, the playing of the national anthem, and the invocation given by Chaplain Rhodes. Major General Logie has deferred honors to Colonel
pray. Almighty God, you throughout the life of every professional man and woman within the USAARL family. These warriors serve our nation with your blood, sweat, and tears. Thank you for these indispensable warriors. May their character and service be the foundation of our future. Today, we remember you, Colonel Hopper, for his service as USAARL commander. His service and dedication are welcome, and we ask for continued blessing upon his leadership and career as he transitions. May the Hopper family depart with abundant blessing and peace. Now, we lift you our new commander, Colonel Summers, and family. We ask for successful integration into the Fort Rucker operations. Grant rich blessings and guide him with abundant wisdom to weather the storms of our mission. Grant a backbone of integrity as he guides our warriors as an exemplar model and mentor. May the sacred leadership opportunity be accepted in fullest trust and responsibility. Lastly, we ask for blessing and guidance for the work of every warrior and leader protecting and serving our great nation. May their hearts and minds and spirits be guarded through their exhaustive work and life-giving work today. Even more so, protect every precious life and heart behind the shield. In your name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Rhodes. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We will now witness the change of command ceremony, which is a simple yet traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. The custodians of the colors is the Senior Enlisted Leader, Master Sergeant Mattingly. The Senior Enlisted Advisor is both a spokesperson for the loyalty and concerns of the soldiers as well as the principal advisor to the commander. Headquarters, Department of the Army, USAARL Assumption of Command by authority of Army Regulation 600-20, subparagraph 2-5, the undersigned assumes command of the United States Army Aeromedical Research Laboratory, Fort Rucker, Alabama, effective 25 June 2025. Signed, Thomas Summers, Colonel, MC Commanding. The Senior Enlisted Advisor, Master Sergeant Mattingly, passes the colors to the outgoing commander, Colonel Hofer. The outgoing commander then passes the colors to the senior commander, Major General Lodi. By returning the colors to the senior commander, the outgoing commander relinquishes command and authority over USAARL. Major General Lodi then passes the colors to Colonel Summers, the incoming commander, thereby delegating command and authority to the new commander. The incoming commander now returns the colors to Master Sergeant Mattingly, completing the circle and signifying trust and confidence in the NCO Corps and completing the change of command of USAARL. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commanding General, United States Army Medical Research and Development Command, Major General Paula Lodi.
I'm not going to make a joke about doctors and marching, not. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the U.S. Army Aeromedical Research Laboratory Change of Command Ceremony. It is great to see so many people out here for this event, honoring this time-honored tradition. I don't think in any way it has to do with the heat that you're all in here observing this ceremony. But I do want to thank our previously recognized distinguished guests for joining us today. Family and friends from the Aviation Center of Excellence, the Fort Rucker community, particularly General McCurry, who came all the way from Austin to join us. And I would otherwise think it was because you have strong ties to Fort Rucker and the Aviation Center of Excellence, but I know it is your love of Army medicine that brings you here today. The fact that I have not been to Fort Rucker since taking command of MRDC last July is no reflection on the mission here or the people executing the mission. I have had many opportunities to engage here over the past 6 years or so as OTSG MedCom G357 when Scott Salmon and Dr. Quattlebaum worked for me, as Regional Health Command Atlantic CG during the latter part of COVID when Lister fell under my command and Danielle Redondi and General Francis were solving that particular problem set. And then as the MedCom DCGS, I came here about 3 years ago to commemorate the Medevac static display that's in front of MECD. I now know who does the real work on behalf of the AMED at Fort Rucker. No offense, Lister. But what USAARL does is truly important and truly groundbreaking and truly impressive. And I think that the audience here today is probably a testament, hopefully, to appreciation of that. I do want to start by recognizing family, beginning with Matt's, his wife Holly, their children Sam and Lola, Matt's in-laws Bill and Gail Ford, who I had the pleasure to have dinner with last night. Lola, you're on for evaluating my remarks today, whether they're interesting, whether they're funny, or whether I sound like Charlie Brown's teacher up here, okay? While I know the USAARL team will miss Matt, I understand the family will be equally missed by the school community where Sam absolutely crushed 5th and 6th grade and where Lola started her academic journey with pre-kindergarten and kindergarten, and where Holly served as the school board vice president. And her volunteer hours as the school board vice president coincided with her full-time job as vice president of a national level clinical research organization, working with a team from Google to develop a conversational AI platform to allow cancer patients to engage in a virtual conversation about their health. And this is advancement. This is what MRDC and AFC is all about. This is advancement that intends to fundamentally change how we fight cancer in the United States. Holly does all this while providing a strong foundation for the family so that Matt can serve. And over at the awards ceremony, I said I've read Matt's support form, and I'm pretty sure that Holly does more on any given day than Matt does. So thank you, Holly. To Colonel Summers' family, his wife Anne-Marie, their 3 daughters, Riley, Shayna, and Vanessa, welcome. Tom and Anne-Marie met when he was a young cadet at West Point this past March. They celebrated 22 years of marriage. Congratulations. Tom describes Anne-Marie as the heart of the family, the one who makes all of their lives better. And as a leader who is 100% reliant on and indebted to my spouse for his unconditional support, it makes me happy to see 2 leaders do the same. And it seems you 2 gentlemen have indeed married up. The twins, Riley and Shayna, just completed their freshman year at Penn State. Riley is studying biology and is on a pre-med track, following in her father's footsteps. Shayna is pursuing a degree in psychology and liberal arts, and Tom, MRDC, is always building the bench. We are always looking to hire top talent, and so there is potential for this to be a growth industry for you and your family. Last month, Vanessa graduated high school back in Maryland, relocated here to Alabama with her parents. Vanessa, I will tell you that sometimes the places that take the longest to grow on us is because they're just growing deeper roots. I hope you find that you love your time here in Alabama with your family. Thank you for your sacrifice. Tom has a party of 20 family members attending today. 20 family members. As his mom said, we come from a big family. And what an inspiration that the family shows up in force to support Tom in this milestone in his career. And while I know it started out as a family reunion of sorts and maybe has turned into something different, the inspiration, the strength of the family, and the meaning behind everyone being present for you today here, Tom, still means the same. To Tom's parents, Tom and Helen, thank you for raising a son who has dedicated his life to serving others. To his sisters, Lee and Corey, I'm sure being raised with two sisters has contributed to, if not made him the leader he is today. To other family members, nieces, nephew, brother, in-laws, aunts, uncles, including Uncle Bill Myers, an Air Force veteran of Vietnam, cousins, including Joe Burton, who served in the 82nd Airborne from 1984 to 1988. Thank you all for your commitment to our nation. Thank you for serving, and thank you all for supporting those of us who serve. The American soldier... They say that the American soldier fights not because they hate what is in front of them, but because they love what is behind them, and it is clear and evident today that for both of these leaders, the incoming and the outgoing commanders, they have had a tremendous amount of support behind them in all their endeavors. Matt, USAARL combines aviation and medicine to optimize protection and performance for the warfighter. Under your leadership, the team remained committed to finding medical solutions to reduce health hazards, prevent and mitigate injury, enhance performance, and save the lives of our aviators, airborne soldiers, and ground warriors. During your tenure, you not only led the team to advance USAARL's mission, but also to guide the organization through significant change as we settled into a new normal with USAARL and USAARL remaining Army labs under Army Futures Command, while the remainder of MRDC transitioned to DHA Research and Development. And as a testament to that, Sharon, Master Sergeant Marconi, it's great to see you here supporting your battle buddy. Matt's honest, caring, and direct approach to leadership gave his team confidence to thrive and remain mission-focused in an ambiguous and complex time. I first met Matt when he was the AMC surgeon during the medlog transition to sustainment. I was impressed then and grateful when I learned he would be one of my commanders when I assumed command of MRDC. Matt, as I said last night, as MRDC CG, I will miss your calm, methodical, early adopter approach and mentality. And as an AMED senior leader, I'm glad to see you go because we need you in the strategic and important jobs ahead. This morning, at the ALM Hall dedication, we talked about the temporal nature of command, but within the organization, Matt is beloved, recognized for his calmness under pressure, forward thinking, and has a unique ability to unite diverse teams with an unwavering focus on people. Matt consistently empowers others to excel. His approachable manner of communication combined with his strategic insight has made him a respected figure throughout the command and across his peer commanders, and I have that on good authority that somewhere out there, there may be a group chat of commanders that is a testament to what right looks like in terms of peer leadership and peer camaraderie. And on a personal note, I'd like to highlight that Matt's karaoke proficiency is unmatched, that our offsites will never be the same without your performances, and that we will in fact miss Tommy Four Guns. Matt, thank you for all the ways you kept USAARL focused on the future. Your ability to drive change will be an asset in your upcoming assignments as you transition to being the Medical Corps Deputy Corps Chief, and more importantly, in 2026 as you go to the great place for Brigade Command. Fort Hood is a place I spent over a third of my career, and I can think of no finer leader to lead the Silver Knight team. Although there are still about 24 hours left for you to change your mind and just come with me back up to Fort Detrick, have we got a command for you? Okay, all right. For Colonel Tom Summers, it's a pleasure to welcome you to the team. You previously served as the Assistant Chief of Staff Support Operations, Medical Readiness Command East, and Chief Medical Officer, Defense Health Network East, and so I am confident, I am also familiar with that command, and then I am also confident that you bring the right mentality and the right temperament, having to have that duality of being under MedCom while also being under the Defense Health Agency. This is where they trick me up with big words. Tom is a board-certified anatomic and clinical pathologist with a subspecialty board certification in hematopathology. How'd I do, Tom? Good? Tom brings a wealth of medical expertise to USAARL, which is what makes us unique. He's a transformational leader known for his strengths in strategic planning and operations. I first met Tom when he was the Cadet Command Surgeon during COVID, when I had Regional Health Command Atlantic. And he established a world-class COVID vaccination site, and more importantly, he helped the Cadet Command execute training of more than 30,000 cadets across post camps and stations in the continental United States, to include Cadet Summer Camp. Now, I learned as the DAS's XO how important the cadet summer training throughput is to the Chief of Staff of the Army and the Army in general, and then firsthand as the MedCom G357, how essential medical support is to that throughput. As Regional Health Command Atlantic CG during COVID, I was grateful that Tom had earned the trust and confidence of General Evans to execute a first-class plan, and was grateful, again, for one less thing to worry about in a very high op-tempo organization. As mentioned earlier, Tom is a West Point graduate with a hobby of collecting educational degrees, hence all those really big titles after his name. 1 doctorate, 2 master's degrees, and a 3rd nearly completed, in addition to becoming a highly accomplished, highly intelligent, and extremely capable leader. He has the innate ability to make all things fun, which I did appreciate at our last offsite, which was 3 days that started with a murder mystery dinner, ended with ziplining on a ropes course, and in between was full of some pretty meaty discussions about the future of medical research and development. Tom, welcome to the team. I am confident that USAARL is in good hands. I'd like to end by just taking a moment to thank the soldiers, civilians, and contractors of this great organization for their dedication and their perseverance. You face challenges, yet you stay the course, and you continue to uphold your commitment to USAARL's mission. Thank you for your service and for your dedication to this command. Forge the future, protect, project, and sustain.
Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing commander, Colonel Matthew H. Hofer.
Doctors can march. That was my fault. I'm actually pretty good at DNC. Totally my fault. You're good, Tom. No problems. You'll be all right. Thank you all for being here today. Ian said it's about half of you are here just to make sure I leave the post, but I appreciate that as well, so no problems. Thank you for our distinguished guests, General Gill, General McCurry. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your leadership in our time as the Little Lieutenant Unit on the corner, and as senior commanders and branch chiefs and COE commanding generals. Just made it so easy to operate. So thank you so much for that help. Mr. Durer, always a big fan of the lab, and there's just things we accomplished because we could go right to you and make them happen. General Cole, same, so appreciate your help there. Sook and T, man, that neighborhood was fun, right? Appreciate you being here today. Honorable Cooper, thank you, sir, for coming to the event, and Dr. Butler as well, I appreciate you coming. General Lodi, thanks for hosting today and making the trip, the day-long trip to get here from Fort Detrick. My hope for everybody in the audience is that you get to work for someone like Major General Paulo Lodi. Open to crazy ideas, tolerant of lunacy sometimes, risk and errors, and 100% behind you when those things happen, no matter what happens. Thank you, ma'am, for your mentorship over the past year in our past relationship, so I appreciate that. 2 years goes by too fast. I'm an optimist, if we've met, but I do have a little bit of melancholy about leaving USAARL, giving up command. Maybe I have a little bit of regret for underdeveloped relationships, things we couldn't get done with some of the smartest professionals I've ever known. Regret of technologies undiscovered, performance unrevealed, opportunities not taken. But mostly, I'm just gonna miss being here when this potlucking family of futurist nerds solves all those things over the next 2 to 10 years. You guys are amazing, and Tom, you're in a lucky space. You're going to have a ton of fun. I really envy what you're going to get to do in the next couple of years. Over the past few weeks, I've been thanking the lab a lot, describing how I feel about you and what we've been able to do while in my short 2 years here. The USAARL team's a bit unsung, sitting over in the community college building on the edge of the installation, or what some people call the Lister Annex. Nobody knows what we do out there. Y'all are going to hate this, but I'd like to get the USAARL folks to please stand up. If you work at the lab, please stand up. Half of you are standing already, so that makes it really easy. You can have a seat. Continue to fight for the opportunities that make Army aviation more lethal, accelerate us into autonomy, and save American warriors. Thank you for the million small and great things you did for me and for this organization over the past 2 years. I won't forget you. If I don't point out the efforts of one person, though, we've done this team thing wrong, and I can't even see her. Where's Master Sergeant Mattingly? Would you please stand up? She's standing over in the corner, making sure the soldiers are okay, because that's what great leaders do. I was a grizzled USAARL vet of 7 days when Master Sergeant Mattingly showed up to become a senior enlisted leader at USAARL. So I taught her everything I know, where the snack machines were, and the names of the 5 people that I actually remembered at that point. But we've been through it for our entire 2 years together, and I just can't say enough. One of my favorite things in the NCO Creed is no one is more professional than I. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Master Sergeant Mariah Mattingly. Right? Thank you for taking care of me, taking care of our soldiers, keeping us straight, and just setting the standard for what a senior Army professional should be. Thanks for everything. Command can be a hard endeavor. Lack of resources, long hours, lots of travel, personal challenges, 5 floods, lots of gray doors. Can be challenging. I've never had a bad day. And that's really because of 3 people, and they're sitting in the front row. When I come home from work, no matter how the day's been, when I come home from travel, immediately into a cocoon of safety and happiness and love and smart aleck remarks from a 12-year-old and warm hugs, maybe a little Fortnite battle royale, but always, no matter what the day has been, turns it around. Thank you for 3 for just being everything. The purpose, the reason, the why. Thank you for that. This lab is accelerating. This lab is moving into a lot of new spaces. We've got a lot of ingenuity, a lot of innovation, and I just know you all are going to crush it for the next 2 years. I can't wait to peripherally be a part of that. Please let me know how I can help. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. Fly Army, above the best.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander of the United States Army Aeromedical Research Laboratory, Colonel Thomas A. Summers.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Distinguished guests, we have quite a few. I'd like to say hello to Major General McCurry. Look forward to working with you, talking with you. Our host, Major General Lodi and her team, and of course, USAARL is this neat entity that combines Army medicine with Army aviation. So Major General Gill, thank you and your team as well. It's an incredible honor to stand before you today as the incoming commander at the United States Aeromedical Research Lab. I'm humbled by the trust and responsibility bestowed upon me to lead this exceptional team. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve alongside such dedicated professionals. First and foremost, I'd like to extend my deepest gratitude to Colonel Hofer and his wife, Holly. Sir, your leadership, vision, and unwavering commitment have propelled USAARL to new heights. Under your command, this laboratory has continued its legacy of excellence, advancing research that protects and enhances health, safety, and performance of our warfighters. Thank you for your leadership and for setting a standard of excellence that inspires us all. To the USAARL team, scientists, engineers, medical professionals, soldiers, and civilians, Your expertise and passion are the heart of this organization. The work you do is vital, not only to Army Aviation, but to the entire Department of Defense and the nation. Every day, your research saves lives, improves readiness, and ensures that our service members have the best possible protection as they carry out their missions. I'm honored to join your ranks and to support your efforts in every way I can. To our partners in academia, industry, and across the military medical community, thank you for your collaboration and support. Together, we are forging new frontiers in aeromedical research, ensuring that our innovations translate into real-world solutions for those who serve. As we look to the future, I'm committed to building upon the strong foundation laid by those who have come before me. We will continue to foster a culture of scientific rigor, innovation, and teamwork. We will remain agile and responsive to the evolving needs of Army Aviation and the broader military medical community. And above all, we will never lose sight of our mission to safeguard the health and performance of America's warfighters. To my family, especially my loving wife and children, thank you for your unwavering support and encouragement. I could not take on this responsibility without your love and understanding. To my large family, I love you guys. In closing, I'm deeply honored to lead the United States Aeromedical Research Lab. I look forward to working with each of you as we continue our vital mission. Together, we will meet the challenges ahead and ensure that USAARL remains a beacon of excellence in military medical research. Thank you, and forge the future.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Army song.
First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the Army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting to the last, and the Army goes rolling along. And it's high on our day, the Army's on its way, count all the cadence of its song. Wherever we go, you will always know that the Army goes rolling along.
In charge, congratulations.
Dismissed.